welcome to NSL Soccer presented by BMO, the official bank of the Northern Super League. For the third meeting of the season between these two foes, the host Calgary Wild FC and visiting Vancouver Rise FC. It's being called a Wild West clash under beautiful blue skies at McMahon Stadium, not far from where the greatest outdoor show on earth is taking place, the Calgary Stampede. Let's take you through the players to watch in today's match, beginning with the hosts and 23-year-old Calgary native Grace Storty. She has started every game for the Wild this season at fullback, and today assigned with marking Holly Ward of Vancouver. Those two have dueled it out in the previous two matches. And Storty right now, the tackles leader in the Northern Super League in just her second year of professional soccer. 86 duels won, right there in the mix in that category as well. As for the Vancouver Rise, Holly Ward is in focus. She's warming up and ready to go. And she was called into international duty, so not much rest for Holly Ward during the international break. She was in the Canadian lineup in two games, starting 90 minutes against Costa Rica and scoring this beauty of a goal in front of the fans in Toronto. And then played a couple minutes in their other match, so picked up 2 caps and scoring goals, not too bad when you've only played 4 times for country. The standings as they are right now, well, AFC Toronto on top with 7 wins, but it's right anybody's game. Vancouver and Calgary just 1 point separating them in the standings right now, and the goal here is to finish in the top 4 by the end of the season to get into the playoffs. So plenty of time left for these teams. Well, coming up just ahead on CBC Gem, we'll have the starting 11s for both teams, and we'll also catch up with Jackie Savitsky of the Calgary Wild and Shannon Weller of the Vancouver Rise. Echo's got the fans into it at McMahon Stadium. We'll be back just ahead on CBC Gem. Welcome back to Calgary as we get set for this third meeting of the season between the Wild and the Vancouver Rise. And let's get you to the starting 11s for both teams as the fans start rolling in. Lovely to see all those cowboy hats there. Of course, the Stampede going on right now. For Calgary, lining up in a 4-3-3 today. Little thin up front. Collie Johnson not available due to injury. But in the midfield, that trifecta has really been connecting. Janaea Robertson, Maggie Doherty-Howard, and Jackie Savitsky, who draws back in after helping the Philippines qualify for the Asian Cup. I had a chance to catch up with Savitsky ahead of the match. Well, Jackie, I know it's been a busy window for you helping the Philippines qualify for the Asian Cup qualifiers. Now you've got to turn your attention back to your club team. How do you feel the key is to picking up those 3 points against Vancouver today?
Yeah, I think it's important that we start off front-footed with that aggressive mentality, and I think we just need to be better in the final third and finish our chances today.
As a native of Coquitlam, BC, you know, that's your hometown. Is there a little extra incentive or feeling playing against Vancouver Rise?
To be honest, not really. I think I go into every match with the same mentality, that competitive spirit and wanting to win every game. Obviously, Vancouver is closer to home, but Calgary's my home now, so I play for the badge that's on the front today.
Thanks for this, and good luck today.
Thank you.
As for the Vancouver Rise, the starting 11 here up front, Mariah Lee with 3 goals in the season. Holly Ward looking for her first with the Rise and the Northern Super League, though coming in with a lot of confidence after starring for Team Canada in the last break. Shannon Weller, the captain of the team, had a chance to catch up with her ahead of the match. Shannon, first game back for the Rise since the international break. I'm just wondering, how important was that time off from a mental and physical perspective for you and the team?
Yeah, I think it was great. It was good timing for us. We had some ups and downs through June, but I think we left on a really great performance, and so that gave us a good feeling going into the break, and I think everyone's excited to be back at it and continue that momentum.
You're one of the iron women in the NSL in terms of players, every minute of the Rise, 10 matches so far. I'm just wondering, what kind of things do you do during a season to take care of yourself through the rigors of a professional season?
Yeah, I think it's just staying consistent. I think obviously I've had a lot of years to figure out my routine, so it's just knowing those and knowing how I work best, and just regardless of the ups and downs, just continuing on with my processes and being consistent with those.
Appreciate your time and good luck tonight.
Yeah, thank you.
There's the Vancouver Rise getting set for kickoff just ahead against the Calgary Wild, back in their familiar purples. As we take a look at today's officials for the match. Final handshakes, final run through for Calgary. This is their second game in a week. They played 5 days ago, losing 1-0 on the road to Halifax. And Vancouver hasn't played in 20 days. It's been quite a while. Their last game was a draw. You mentioned Shannon Weller saying they were pretty pleased with how they played in that last match, a 0-0 draw against Montreal. But both of these teams looking for their first win in quite a while. For Vancouver, their last win came on May 21st, 4 games ago. And the Wild on a 3-game slide right now. So hoping that the home fans at McMahon Stadium will be able to help them to 3 points today. The Rise in their sunshine kits, the teal and yellow. And the Wild in their purple jerseys today. Just a hop, skip, and a jump away from the Calgary Stampede. So while the bull riding and steer wrestling and barrel racing is down there, just some old-fashioned women's football coming up here on CBC Gem. So glad you could be with us. I'm Signa Butler, taking you through the game today. The goalies take their place, and we'll take our place at midfield in just a moment's time. Maggie Doherty Howard getting it started for the home side. And we're underway. Michaela Moore sending it deep. And out for an early goal kick. As we mentioned off the top, it's the third meeting between these two squads. They, of course, were the first match of the Northern Super League back on April 16th at BC Place in front of 14,500 fans, where it was Quinn's penalty kick that gave the Rise the victory. And the last meeting, a 1-1 draw, May 24th. Mariah Lee scoring for Vancouver, and Collie Johnson scoring for Calgary. Coach Lydia Bedford saying she was okay with their performance, their first game back after the international break, that 1-0 loss to Halifax on the road. Thought they had a better second half, maybe deserved a point out of that. Robertson trying to slide a ball through. McCaslin will pick that up. Beautiful 26-degree day in Calgary. A little bit of wind, as there often is. Storty streaking along the right side. Playing in Danielle Steer, who is offside. Robertson wide to Maddie Wilson. Little pedestrian by Vancouver in front of their 18. But the shot well out of touch. There's Enya Heiner-Muller, head coach of the Vancouver Rise. She was really pleased with how they played against Montreal ahead of the break. It was a 0-0 draw, but just felt like it was one of their most complete performances. It's something that they've been struggling with this season, getting a full 90 minutes of what they want to do and how they want to play. A little disappointed they didn't get a result in that last match, just because the points really will come in handy towards October and November, when the top 4 teams that go to the playoffs will be determined. Spencer, nice touch to get by Sarita Thurton. Spencer playing in Ward, Holly Ward. Storty trying to catch up. Storty able to track back and turn. Not out of trouble yet. Spencer has a go, it's blocked. And cleared away by Calgary. Pachurski. Dangerous cross in behind the defenders. Gets to Ward. Doherty Howard able to get a foot on it, finds Thurton. Sarita Thurton making her way across the pitch. Michaela Moore taking a touch inside. And back to the Rise. Shannon Weller with the ball there. Pumping it over top out of bounds. Weller paired in the back today with Ariel Young at center back. Jessica Cowart, who was with the Philippines national team, just taking a little bit longer to come back. A little bit more rest. Obviously, those that were on international duty did not have the same amount of time off. Both of these teams had about 8 days off of rest before they resumed training. Weller looking over top and back to Michaela Moore. Rolsma cutting back. Young looking over top. Back to Bukovic. Savitsky. So Savitsky and Coward, Philippines national teammates. So Savitsky in the lineup today. Had 3 wins in 3 matches at the Asian Cup qualifiers. Those will take place 2026 in Australia And it serves as the final qualifier for the World Cup in Brazil in 2027. Cross into the box and sliding over it was Bukovic. Weller to Quinn. And Young, nice switch in play by Vancouver. Allie Green breaking up that play. Great to see Green back in the lineup. 26-year-old New Zealand international. She had that scary crash into Jackie Burns, the goalkeeper. Both players took a real knock, but nice to have Allie Green back in the lineup for Calgary Wild. Steer laying off to Doherty Howard. A nice ball across to Storty, broken up by Spencer. Ward against Michaela Moore. And Moore will just give up the corner kick. Some of those transitional moments in the game, both coaches flagged ahead of this match that they were concerned about either side. Wary of those transitional moments. Coach Lydia Bedford looking on. First corner kick of the match. Samantha Chang on the ball. Ball taken inside, not cleared away. Popped up. Longhurst. Weller finds Paczerski, who has a bit of space. Quinn closed down, turns. Ward finding Chang running on. And Moore clears that away. Grace Storty. Second year of professional soccer. Played in Portugal with Braga last year. Stephanie Bukovic getting her 9th start of the season today. 2 clean sheets so far. Robertson winning that duel with Quinn. Doherty Howard. Doherty Howard looking for a shot on goal, just wide. And took a little deflection, so we'll see a corner kick for Calgary. One thing that Enya Heiner-Moller pointed out, that Calgary capable of shooting from distance, so that's something they're going to be trying to close down. Janaea Robertson and Quinn Lovely battle in the midfield. And Doherty Howard, well, she scored from distance before or during the season, and now she'll take the corner kick. The home side looking for a goal. Lovely delivery, cleared away. Paczerski, great footwork. Was trying to thread to Mariah Lee. More to Rolfsma. Looking over top for Sarita Thurton. Thurton's got an edge and she pops it over top, and that's a goal! Sarita Thurton, her first goal of the season, and the Calgary Wild are ahead. "12 minutes into the match, and Sarita Thurton, this young star for the Calgary Wild, her first goal. Look at that lovely ball in. And even better, saw McCaslin off her line, popped it over top. But Rolfsma, the ability to break lines, finding Thurton, breaking through, and look at the celebrations for Sarita Thurton. Couldn't have a better start to this match for the Calgary Wild. And Enya Heiner-Moller looking on. A couple things her team was wary about. Calgary being able to break lines as they just did, and the shots from distance. So Maggie Doherty Howard shooting from distance, getting that corner kick. Some sustained play in the Vancouver end, and Calgary making the most of that beautiful ball by Micah Rolfsma. For Calgary throw. Allie Green on that far side of the pitch. Weller. We saw Weller bring her team together after that goal was scored. Regroup. Spencer. Young to Quinn, closed down quickly by Savitsky. Longhurst, nice touch and layoff to Ward, but the flag is up. Ward, the 21-year-old Vancouver native, is coming off her third and fourth cap with Team Canada over the break. Doherty trying to find Thurton again, and quickly Vancouver is pushing forward. Quinn. Just missing the final pass. Bukovic will reset through Rolfsma. Savitsky pops it up. That's a bit of trouble for Moore, but she gets to it. Rolfsma under pressure. Calgary gets out of it. Pechersky. Vancouver keeping possession nicely here. Cross in. Longhurst has a foot on it. Josie Longhurst looking for a shot. Dribbles into Bukovic. Spencer up to take the throw to Quinn. Will take their time. Young was looking for Longhurst, but picked off by Rolfsma. Little too much chase there by Holly Ward on Ray Storty. It's called for the foul. Spencer not taking any chances, out for a throw. Seasons in the NWSL. Jasmine Spencer. Doherty Howard. Feather touch, keeps it alive. Moore. The cross in, well over top of the goal. New Zealand veteran. Must be loving the Calgary Stampede. Told me earlier this season, loves country music. Had yet to have a cowboy hat, but I'm sure they have one now. They had their Wild West walk-ins today, the Calgary Wild did. All their outfits pre-game, all Stampede related. Right. Steer plays a give and go with Green. Blocked. Timely tackle by Shannon Weller. Calgary still with possession. Early cross, but McCaslin read that. No chance for Steer. Quickly out to Quinn. Young, Longhurst, nice combination. Taken away. And Vancouver escapes that turnover. Sam Chang finding space and finding Peczerski. Peczerski going 1v1. Still has it, Peczerski! Saved by Bukovic. Didn't have a lot of juice on it, but nice movement by Lisa Peczerski. Green going back to Bukovic. On that blind side, Holly Ward streaking in. Young to Longhurst. Thurton winning that battle against Spencer, a little hobbled. Quinn wins it back. Doherty Howard, a lovely turn, finding Steer. One-on-one with Young. Young does well to get a foot on it. Another look. Danielle Steer, a Surrey, BC native, so a lot of BC players, BC-based players on the Calgary Wild. Just a little brief hydration break. There's an injury on the field, so every opportunity to fuel yourselves. As Steph Bukovic gets some attention from the Calgary Wild trainers. 1-0 lead for the hosts Wild after that 12-minute goal from Sarita Thurton. Beautiful ball over top by Micah Rolfsma, and Thurton just popped it in over McCaslin. Have another look at the goal. Rolfsma finding that space over top. Thurton splits Young and Weller, and McCaslin was in no man's land, and Thurton made her pay. First goal of the season for Sarita Thurton. And it was a clever one at that. You're watching the NSL, presented by BMO, the official bank of the Northern Super League. Just a little break while Steph Bukovic was stretching it out. McMahon Stadium, nice day for a game of soccer. Of course, there's plenty of going on in the city of Calgary right now. The Stampede in its final weekend. Young, lovely cross ball. And a little too far, the pass from Longhurst to Paczerski. Paczerski, one of those players that can play just about anywhere on the pitch, which has been really helpful for Enya Heiner Moller's side, who's battled injuries so far this season. Heiner Moller saying that they're close to their as many healthy bodies as they've had right now. The international break really good for the team from both a physical and mental perspective. Storty closed down. Lee looking for someone. No target, so she'll turn back. Spencer. Quinn back to Weller. Young looking for a diagonal ball to Longhurst, but just off the mark. Spencer, well won. Off the shin of Thurton. Spencer to Lee. Broken up by Storty. Spencer. Chang, Weller moving it across the pitch to the right side. Paczerski and Quinn working a give and go. Final pass not there. Thurton looking forward. Laying it in for Danny Steer. Steer in a bit of discomfort up front. Weller. Ward, who's slide over to the right side now. Quinn. Right with the cross in. Still with the ball, Ward turning. And tackle at the side of the box, foul called. And this will be a prime opportunity for Vancouver on a set piece. As we see a substitution, Danielle Steer seemed to be in some discomfort up front, so whether this is an injury, it looks to be limping a little bit coming out of the match, and Christy Gray will come in. So an early day done for Danielle Steer. Christy Gray coming into the game. 26-year-old Vancouver native. This Maddie Wilson, little too much on the shins on Holly Ward and called for the foul. Here's the free kick from Lisa Peczerski. Little jostling in the box. Peczerski, cross in! Errol Young looked like she was trying to go for a diving header there, just off the mark. So Stephanie Bukovic not tested there. Minutes plus added time in this opening half. And Moore's pass off the mark. Lots of pressure from Vancouver there. Deep throw in. Chang keeps it alive. Doherty well won against Ward. Finding Thurton. Thurton's got some space. Sarita Thurton trying to go one-on-one against Spencer. Finds Storty down low. Storty cuts it back. And cleared away by Longhurst. Thurton finding Storty. Storty's cut back, but no one was there for Calgary. Quick throw. And out for a corner kick. Calgary Wild known for their set pieces. Another opportunity here. Doherty Howard on the ball to the far post, looking for a header. Wilson gets on it, but into the arms of McCaslin, who will go immediately up the pitch. Longhurst to Quinn to Young. Young looking forward. Has Ward little too far for Holly Ward. right. Throw goes the other way. Doherty Howard, a quick switch to Storty. Little too far, and Spencer sweeps that away. Chang wins the ball from Doherty Howard quickly. Given a yellow card, so in the books is Maggie Doherty Howard. Referee Angelina Baldino saying nope. Definitely a foul. Pechersky against Green. Pechersky earns a corner kick. So Vancouver Rise, before the end of this opening half, have an opportunity. Chang on the corner. Driven in, punched over by Rolfsma off the head. Spencer still has it. Crossing. Looking for that far post, and Mariah Lee was right there. She's had a couple nice header goals this season. Didn't get all of it. Wilson was trying to break Thurton. Back to Young. Just skips through Quinn.
Yellow card received by Calgary Wild FC, number 28, Maggie Doherty Howard at the 48th minute.
Doherty Howard with the ball and some space. Jalen Wright had to clear it away. Green on the ball. Doherty Howard gets out of trouble, finding some space. That will be a foul on Samantha Chang. Another look. Lovely movement, and Chang just getting a quick talking to. Doherty Howard says, hey, I got a card already. Back here, let's go. This is a precarious place for a free kick. Doherty Howard can have a go from here. And you know there's plenty in the box. Look at that strike! Maggie Doherty Howard with a howitzer. And it's 2-0 for the hosts, Calgary Wild. Well, you knew Maggie Doherty-Howard was capable, and everybody's two-stepping and saying Yahoo in Stampede Week in Calgary. Just curls it in near post. And whether Vancouver thought she was looking for a cross in and maybe gave up that near post, Doherty-Howard saw it all the way. Well, the Rise have some work to do. Have a few minutes left in this opening half to try and get one back, claw back into this match. But Calgary taking advantage of their opportunities so far. Robertson, some space. Was looking for Thurton, too far.
Calgary Wild
Second goal of the season for Maggie Doherty-Howard. More back to Bukovic, who's often off her line. Chang to Paczerski. He's looking for Lee. Young finds Spencer. 3 minutes of added time.
The fourth official has indicated a minimum of 3 minutes of added time.
Final pass has been missing for Vancouver in this opening half. Something I'm sure that Anya Heiner-Moller will talk about. Earlier this week telling me she was hoping for patience in terms of finding the wide spaces, patience in terms of making the right runs in behind. First match in 20 days, so first half rust. We'll see what the second half has in store for the Vancouver Rise. But right now, Calgary Wild making the most of their opportunities. Beautiful goal in the 12th minute from Sarita Thurton, and then just a powerful, well-placed free kick from Maggie Doherty-Howard. Savitsky, Doherty-Howard. To Thurton, and the run over by Young. Thurton was looking for Christy Gray. Not enough mustard on the pass. Ward Is there time for a little something here? Quinn pushing forward. Quinn. Lovely ball through Josie Longhurst. Longhurst, the cross. Headed away. Chang. Longhurst. Looking for a through ball for Quinn. Michaela Moore clears that away. Longhurst. Quinn, perhaps one final go here. And that'll be it for the opening 45 minutes of the match. Maggie Doherty Howard making it 2-0 in the 40th minute. And the Calgary Wild with a 2-0 lead at the half over the visiting Vancouver Rise. We'll see what kind of adjustments both teams make ahead of the final 45 minutes of this match from McMahon Stadium. But after 45 minutes, it's Vancouver Rise 0, Calgary Wild 2. Stay with us. More NSL and the halftime show just ahead.
It's the goal they've been waiting for.
That is a highlight we will see over and over and over again. That is absolutely world class. Oh my goodness.
Welcome back to the NSL Halftime Show presented by BMO, the official bank of the Northern Super League. Well, it's all party atmosphere in the Stampede City right now, with the hosts leading 2-0 over the Vancouver Rise. Well, it's been a back and forth affair, at least at the beginning of this match. Holly Ward, we expected this duel against Grace Storty to be one of our focal points of the match, and certainly they tangled a few times. Not many opportunities early on in the match between both teams, but whether it was battle in the midfield here, like this one between Janaea Robertson and Quinn, or between Storty and Ward, had us on our toes, waiting for maybe the first opportunity of the match. That one was pretty close, Maggie Doherty-Howard, but here's how it started. Micah Rolfsma, the pass over top, beautiful, and Sarita Thurton, knowing that McCaslin was off her line, popped it over top. Great assist and a better finish from Sarita Thurton, her first goal of her Northern Super League career. See the big smile on her face. More battles between Ward and Storty. Two young stars of the league, and then it was 2-0. Doherty-Howard. Just seeing that McCaslin was off of her post, curled it over top of the wall and right inside that near post. So we'll see what kind of adjustments we'll see in that second half. In terms of possession, it was the Vancouver Rise really being patient with the ball. Didn't have the shots on target, though. That goes in the favor of the Calgary Wild in that opening 45 minutes. Again, plenty of time left to play. Well, some young fans on hand, and of course everybody's got their Western gear. The Calgary Stampede, a showing of Canada's Western culture. So if you're not taking in the rodeo, maybe you're taking in this Northern Super League match here. You're watching the NSL on CBC Gem. We'll have more just ahead. Welcome back to the Northern Super League's halftime show. It's certainly been a busy season for NSL players, both young and old. For Ottawa Rapids veteran Desiree Scott, it's been a dream come true. Here's her wide-ranging interview with Andy Petrillo.
And joining us now here on Just Soccer, Desiree Scott. How you doing? I feel like it's been a minute since we last talked.
It has been a little minute. Good to see you.
Yeah. Nice to see you as well. Lots have happened since the last time we spoke to each other. I mean, how have things been going so far with the season? I mean, you're up there in the standings.
things have been flowing, going well. Our team is starting to build those connections on the field, off the field from when we last chatted. I guess it was around preseason. So it's cool to see everything coming together and results are happening as well. So it's been good.
Well, and speaking of results, again, inaugural season and heading into the start of this league. As much as we were talking about the league, it was all about how is it also going to affect the national team. And in the last window, I mean, we did see like 4 NSL players were called up. Holly Ward became the first ever NSL player to score a goal for the national team. What has it been like to witness almost immediately players from this league getting called into the national team?
Well, that's exactly what we hope this league would be. I know in early interviews when they're like, what do you hope for the league? And we were talking about the national team and all the unforeseen talent that hopefully this league shines through. And I think we're seeing that now, and it's incredible.
What was your reaction when Holly Ward got that goal?
I said, I waited 188 caps to score, and this girl comes in first camp and just knocks it out the park. No, I was happy for her, obviously. What a way to start your campaign.
You know what though? That would be a real honest reaction, and I love it. But hey, you got your goal. You got your goal. Let's talk a little bit about that and scoring for Ottawa. I mean, I know it was a while ago, but just take us on the pitch and just all the emotions that came with it.
Post is flicked on and Manor off the crossbar. The ball's so close to the and it's in the back of the net.
It's been a running joke for me. Like I could not retire until I did that. So now that that's box ticked, but no, it was just like storybook, just crafty little goal, like scrappy destroyer mode, and finally got it. But I was elated.
Yeah, wouldn't have it any other way. It was about a month or so ago now, too. There was a proper send off for you as well with the national team in Winnipeg. What was that day like? Just everything, if you could take us to that moment, because I know you had mentioned before stepping away from the national team, but I really felt like we weren't able to give you your flowers, and it finally happened.
I mean, yeah, it was just an absolutely incredible day. I was so fortunate that Casey Stoney allowed me that opportunity to put on the red and white one more time, to do it in my home city that I'm so proud to represent, and to play minutes and just be around the girls again. I'd been out of the camp for about a year and a half or so. So it was nice to get in there, see everybody. I had a destroyer section of like 200 friends and family, coaches with signs and everything. Like it was just the most perfect day. And, you know, you don't usually get to write your own script. So to be able to have that chance was amazing.
It was great to see it. And I mean, we've watched you evolve before our very eyes, especially with the national team and obviously in the pro game too. And you yourself have acknowledged your role obviously looks a little different. How has it been taking on more of that mentorship role, helping the next generation?
Yeah, I think that's what I signed up for. And I hope that the girls come to me and are asking me questions, and a lot of them are. Sometimes it's a little tiring, but you know, that's why we're here. I've gained so much knowledge throughout my years of playing, and so to be able to help sort of like just give little nuggets of wisdom or advice on the field, off the field, helping to plant seeds and sort of standards as well. I think you're just really seeing the impact of what you can do in this league.
Have there been any standout moments so far from games this season? Things that have really stuck out to you, whether it was your own play, whether it was somebody young doing something and you're like, what?
I've just appreciated, honestly. I know we talk about DB Pridham a lot. She's our obviously leading goal scorer in the league, but I just to see her confidence shine through from preseason to now. And I know something just fun. I'm all about the enjoyment piece as well in footy, and we're starting to see a little bit more celebrations. And I've got to say, I'm like, you got to celebrate more. She's so serious all the time, but now you're seeing her things come out. She tipped her hat, the last hat trick she scored. She's having a bit more fun with it. So I like to say I have a little hand in that.
Okay, well, wait a second. If you happen to get another goal, do you have a celebration planned?
I had one planned if I ever did score, and that went out the window. So no, I'm hoping like I said, I get a little dance action. I've got some things in the pockets now if it does come for goal number 2.
All right, we want to see those moves. Before we let you go, we have to have a little bit of fun here. And I'm curious to know if you have a go-to pump-up song before a match.
Go-to pump-up song. Great question. I listen to a lot of music. You think I'd have one off the cuff, off the dome. NLE Choppa, it's called Champions. Really gets you in your zone.
Okay, gonna have to look that one up and listen to it.
Yeah.
Toughest player you've ever faced?
Toughest player I've ever faced. I'm gonna go throwback here. Lauren Holiday, US midfielder. Back in the day, we used to go toe to toe. It was always a challenge.
Ooh, I love that. Favorite stadium you've ever played in?
I have played at Wembley, so that's probably going to be a pretty special one for me.
Sure is. Most inspiring teammate you've ever had?
I got to go with the GOAT, Christine Sinclair. Obvious answer, but a lot of years with
Mm.
her, and yeah.
Okay, let's take it to the NSL. And who do you think we should keep an eye on?
Keep an eye on. I'm saying Olivia Scott, my center back.
Okay,
Watch
I
out
like
for
that.
him. Hmm.
And how about, I mean, I know it's going to probably be tough, one word, but maybe you can just describe the future of Canadian women's soccer.
Exciting.
Sure is. I love that. You are always an absolute blast to talk to. Best of luck the rest of the way when it comes to the NSL season and with Ottawa. We can't wait to watch, and we appreciate you taking the time here on Just Soccer.
Always a pleasure. Thanks so much.
I love a good rapid round, and Desiree Scott always brings it. Big match ahead for her and the Ottawa Rapid as they try to rebound from their 3-0 loss to AFC Toronto. They take on the Calgary Wild on the road at McMahon Stadium next Saturday. You've been watching the NSL halftime show presented by BMO. The second half is about to kick off. There come the Vancouver Rise, finding themselves in a 0-2 hole to the Calgary Wild, the host team. Wonder what adjustments that Enya Heiner-Moller has made at the half. And will we see any substitutions? We will have that confirmed for you in just a few moments. But for now, getting warmed up, ready to go. Josie Longhurst. Kind of lurking around the 18-yard box, making herself available. We'll see if she can be a factor in this second half. Just waiting for the Calgary Wild to come out of the dressing room. There they come in their purple. 2-0 lead thanks to goals from Sarita Thurton and Maggie Doherty-Howard. That free kick from their captain towards the end of that opening half has them ahead. Happy fans right now. Of course, it's happy times during Stampede Week. And the Wild would love to give their fans 3 points today. The Vancouver Rise have a few things to clean up. It had been 20 days since their last match, so just shaking off the rust in that opening half. As for the Wild, second game in 5 days, so we'll see if fatigue has any impact on them in this second half.
Fans, this is your team, this is your moment. Let's shake the stands and show them how the Wild do it. Get on your feet, fans, it's time to break the noise.
Second half kicks off. Rise in possession. They did have that advantage in terms of possession in the opening half, 58% of the possession. And the battle continues between Holly Ward and Grace Storty on the far side of the pitch. Savitsky to Rolfsma. Poked away by Spencer. Moore Finding Doherty Howard, who quickly finds Sarita Thurton. They love to get Sarita Thurton one-on-one. And there she is against Jalen Wright, taking her time. Doherty Howard has a go from distance! And tipped over top by McCaslin. Nice timely save by McCaslin, but that's what the Calgary Wild can do from distance. And Maggie Doherty Howard, certainly one leading the way. She's already got a goal in this game. Makes one move by Chang and then popped over top by McCaslin just in the nick of time. I'd hope for a corner kick. Doherty Howard looking for a target in the box. Right at the 6-yard. Nobody there. Rise with possession. Chang, nice ball over top. She's got Paczurski. Paczurski going one-on-one and earns the corner kick. Didn't have the numbers, but she does earn the corner kick, so Paczurski looking one way, then going the other. Savitsky knocking it out. Samantha Chang looking to ignite her team with this corner kick. Drives it in, headed away by Rolfsma. All the way back to McCaslin. Quinn goes. Spencer Longhurst coming over to this right touch line. Looking over top for Paczurski. Off her line is Bukovic. Weller to Young. Right. Quinn pokes it. Just off the foot of Chang. Paczurski earns a foul. Right. Looking in the box, across, headed away from danger, but Green gives up the corner kick. So Vancouver with some time in Calgary's end. And can they make something of this corner kick? Chang short to Paczurski. Pechersky taking it. Oh, nice little bit of footwork, trying to get by Storty. Longhurst. Ward to right. Vancouver still with the bulk of possession, almost 60% now. But need that directness. Haven't had it yet. Ward. Ward trying to find some space. Cleared away by Calgary. Longhurst. Well, there's Spencer Chang trying to play it out of danger. Does get it forward. Vancouver. Advantage played here. Pechersky, can she chase it down? No. Green in some discomfort. Perhaps thought Pechersky came in a little hard on that tackle. Robertson. Moore. Looking over top, just a little too far for Storty. Nice turn from Quinn. He's looking for Lee, couldn't get there. Wilson. Finds Gray. Gray with the cross in. Back into the rise. And their control. Pechersky against Green. Pechersky gets the cross in, runs across Storty's body. Nobody was there on that far post. Turned over, Thurton. Doherty Howard out to Green. We'll turn back to Rolfsma and Moore. Storty. Disrupted by Ward and out for a Vancouver throw. Third meeting between these two teams this season. The opening game in Northern Super League history went in favor of the Vancouver Rise. Quinn with a historic penalty kick to give their team a 1-0 victory. And then it was a 1-all draw at Swangard Stadium back at the end of May, and today a 2-0 lead for the moment for the Calgary Wild on their home turf at McMahon. Quinn winning the ball back. Chang. Give and go with Chang. Chang in tight. And the flag up on the other side of the pitch for offside, but some combination and some direct play from Vancouver. So promising stuff from the Rise. Perhaps that'll be enough to ignite them here on the road. But the Wild very patient, making the most of their opportunities. Coach Lydia Bedford there on the right-hand side of your screen, pleased with what she's seen so far. Being clinical around goal, that's certainly been the way of the Wild today. And they're a little thin up front, remember? Sarah Griffith, her half-season loan, just wrapped up. And Collie Johnson out with a bit of a knock right now, not a long-term thing, but missing her 3 goals on the season. Both clubs indicating that they are looking to add in the summer transfer window. Of course, players aren't eligible to play for teams until July 20th. Moore under pressure from Lee. Gets out of it. Nice spell of possession here from Calgary. Just got on the foot of right, but Gray's got it now. Christy Gray cuts back. Broken up from Quinn. Triple sub coming up for Vancouver. Josie Longhurst coming out of the match, and we'll see Nikki Stanton return. So that is a big boost to the Vancouver lineup. Kennedy Faulkner into the match for Ariel Young at center back. And Jessica DeFilippo up front for Mariah Lee. So some size up front with Jessica DiFilippo. There you see her chasing the ball down. She had a wonderful last-second goal to give Vancouver a 1-1 draw with AFC Toronto earlier this season. Storty pushing forward. Thurton, the cross in behind, headed away by Faulkner. The shot from Robertson into the arms of McCaslin. Faulkner with her first touch of the match.
On the pitch, number 7, Nicole Stanton, number 16, Kennedy Faulkner, and number 11, Jessica DiFilippo.
Quinn finds Pachurski, just got tangled up in her foot. With 3 substitutions for Vancouver here. And we'll see if that makes an impact. Remember, Calgary with their second game of the week. A nice little touch on to Sam Chang. Janaea Robertson holding her leg, Chang holding her leg. Ooh, that was a tough tackle for both athletes. High 20s at McMahon Stadium in Calgary today, so players will take their opportunity to refuel. As Janaea Robertson gets looked at here, another look at that. Ooh. Yeah, rolled her foot. Robertson and Chang, both members of their team's leadership groups. Sam Chang there. Their team going to regroup a little bit, as does Lydia Bedford and her team. In control right now, the Wild are 2-0 lead. Robertson back up. Will have to come off the pitch and asked to come back on, assuming she stays in the match. Former U Sports Player of the Year out of Trinity Western. And the restart. Moore picked off by Stanton, her first touch. Nikki Stanton's been out since May 11th. A 1-1 draw against AFC Toronto. Took a knock in that game and had been unavailable since. Stanton on limited minutes today. But Stanton and Quinn, very familiar with each other, of course, playing with the Seattle Reign. So the chemistry built into that midfield, we saw that early in the season. And That actually was Samantha Chang out with injury, but now that all three of them are back healthy, certainly that gives Anya Heiner-Moller's club lots to be excited about in their midfield. Robertson back out. Looks to be all right. Rolsma looking up pitch. Finds Gray. You can see the wind holding the ball up in this half of the field. Paczurski. Paczurski gets the corner kick. We'll see if Chang takes that or if Stanton will be on the ball. Chang on the ball. The Rise hoping they can convert, headed away from Moore. Right, that's blocked by Gray. Giving chase, keeps it alive. Caslin will pick that up. Savitsky, a nice little touch there to Robertson. Now Savitsky in attack. Thurton, the game's first goal scorer. Thurton. Nice defending by Wright. Sarita Thurton, the former Canadian Youth International. Been to a U17 World Cup, U20 World Cup. Before starring at the University of South Florida. Still alive. Given away. Stanton, hard tackle, as she's known for, and body down in the box. That's Christy Gray. Body on the line. It's good to see Nikki Stanton though, ready back stuck in as she often is. Well, thanks for being with us today for the Northern Super League presented by BMO, the official bank of the NSL. The Wild with a 2-0 lead over the Vancouver Rise. Jessica DiFilippo down. Maybe the wind knocked out of her. Players getting cold towels and water, and DeFilippo back up on her feet. Just under 20 minutes remaining in this third meeting of the season between Calgary and Vancouver. Calgary looking for its first win over the Rise on the season. Allie Green slow to get up. Be a Calgary throw. Out for another throw. Robertson battling. Out for another throw. Shall we go once more with a throw? And it's going the other way this time. Free kick, pardon me. Spencer, DeFilippo's back on the pitch. Broken up by Savitsky. Another player down on the pitch. That is Savitsky. There's a bit of a bloody nose. Vukovic. Whoa. She's good with her feet. I'm sure it gives the heart some palpitations if you're a coach, Lydia Bedford, but here come the Wild. Robertson spraying that out to Thurton. Thurton cutting inside. Gray playing in Thurton again. Nice run. Haslin has that quickly, throws it out to Paczerski. See if the pace picks up here, some urgency here for the Vancouver Rise if they want a shot at any points in today's game. Faulkner out to right. Ward cuts it across, gives herself a little space. Quinn, the cross in, far post to Paczerski. Too long. right thought. Doherty Howard down now. We're at the cramping part of this game, especially on a hot day like today. 26 degrees. You just see Doherty Howard just on the left-hand top of your screen. Looks to be some cramping. Brand new turf field at McMahon Stadium, put in earlier this year. Stadium's been around since 1960. A couple of renovations along the way. The Wild, of course, sharing it with the Stampeders of the CFL. So Captain Doherty Howard gets some medical attention on the other side of the pitch. Skips off the foot of Thurton. Spencer looking over top, more off the head. Quinn finds DeFilippo and Rolfsma just swings at it, gets it out of trouble. Substitution coming up for the Calgary Wild. Maggie Doherty Howard is out of the game. And into the game, Sonia O'Neill. But Doherty Howard, who came into the match saying that they were going to draw on that Stampede energy to get back on the right track and get the points they need and carry the momentum forward, certainly was a big factor in this one. Quinn from distance. Doherty Howard with the second goal of the match on a blistering free kick in that opening half. Sonia O'Neill, who just came into the match for Calgary Wild, has been seeing some time at center back while Micah Rolfsma had been out with injury. Scored a goal, in fact. A 3-1 loss to Ottawa back in June. Ten minutes to play. Looking like the Wild have not been threatened just yet. Still some time for the Rise. Pechersky. Faulkner over top, finding right. Can she keep it alive? Not quite. Faulkner fouled by Gray. Some disagreement there. Gray will get a talking to, pardon me. Faulkner on the ball now. Another foul, this one on Sonia O'Neill, and she'll get booked. Second yellow of the match against the Calgary Wild. Free kick opportunity here for Vancouver. Opportunities have been few and far between. This one over top, the header, whoa! And we knew what she can do with her head. Jessica DiFilippo getting Vancouver within one. 2-1 now. Vancouver making things interesting in these final 10 minutes. Let's take another look. Sam Chang, beautiful ball over top, and DiFilippo, just a free header. Vukovic off her line, but DiFilippo so good in the air. Thurton breaking away. Closed down by Faulkner. Cross in. It's opening up a little. Holly Ward. Ward. DiFilippo, the cross in. Cleared away, not out of danger. And out for goal kick. Well, it's getting interesting at McMahon Stadium. Sonia. All the way back to McCaslin. Fans wanted a handball, bounced up and hit the arm of Quinn. Chang shovels it back to Quinn. Quickly tucks it behind their leg to Ward. Ward, the touch forward. Cleared away by Michaela Moore. Right. Earns a corner kick. All you need is an opportunity, and the Vancouver Rise are creating some. Another corner kick here. And that aerial threat of DiFilippo, who's got a goal already in this match. Chang, delivery, going for the far post. Quinn was there, but Green recovers. So Vancouver seemed to have a little bit more pep in their step in the second half. especially the later parts of the second half. Savitsky to settle her team down. Wilson. Sonia. DeFilippo is down again, this time holding her shin.
Today's attendance is 3,061. Thank you for supporting the Northern Super League, and thank you for making today's match wild. We look forward to seeing you back here at our next home match on Saturday, July 19th, as we take on the Ottawa Rapid FC. Kickoff is scheduled for 2 p.m.
Janaea Robertson will leave the match, and Talia White will come in. Add a little bit more defense for these final couple minutes. Talia White, former star with the Calgary Dinos, pardon me. First team All-Canadian with them.
Janaea Robertson coming onto the pitch, number 44, Talia White.
2-1 game here. The Wild looking for 3 points against the Vancouver Rise for the first time this season. But Vancouver has come on in this last 15 to 20 minutes. A little bit more energy, a little bit more direct play, which we hadn't seen in that opening half. That'll be a free kick for Vancouver. Pachurski this time on the ball. Kind of a half pass, half cross. Pachurski to Chang. The turn from Ward. Can she get there in time? Keep it alive along the touchline. Yes. And says it will go out for a goal kick. I don't know. Looked like it took a deflection. We have the benefit of replay up here. We'll see what the added time situation is in this match. Will Vancouver have an opportunity to steal a point after Calgary really in command for much of this match? 7 minutes of added time. Woo. So yes, there is time for both teams right now.
7 minutes added time in the second half.
Bukovic off her line. Says get up, get up. And boots the ball up the field. Weller will take that in. On the go is Ward to Chang. And cleared away. Pachurski. Cross in. Cleared up and away. Weller looking up the pitch. Scrambly, both teams need to get the ball down on the grass. Gray from distance, handled by McCaslin. Storty pushing forward. Savitsky taking her time. Was looking for Wilson, and Pechurski backtracks and clears it out for a throw-in. The Wild led 2-0 for much of this match. Sarita Thurton in the 12th minute. Maggie Doherty-Howard's free kick in the 40th minute. Before Jess DeFilippo with a header off a free kick in the 82nd minute. Made things interesting, and this is interesting now. Thurton pushing forward and taken down. Nikki Stanton had no choice. Professional foul. Takes the yellow card, but Thurton earns a free kick. Another look. No doubt about that. So with 3 minutes left plus change in added time, the Calgary Wild trying to see if they could maybe add something here or waste time. Doherty Howard off of course, substituted off in the second half. So we'll see who takes this free kick. Looks to be Rolfsma with that left foot. Moore will waste time.
Yellow card received by Vancouver Rise FC.
Rolfsma fires that out of bounds.
At the 90th minute.
Quinn switching the play. Wilson, a timely foot on that. Broken up by Savitsky. It's a little bit more time off the clock. Stanton. Calgary very compact defensively now. Going to be tough to break down. Pechurski looking for space. Swept away by Rolfsma. Storty shielding. Still shielding. Ward battling. And for a throw in. Vancouver. Gonna player down. So some more added time will be added. That's Allie Green down, some cramping. You know, a hot day on AstroTurf. And Johanner Moeller hoping that they have enough added time to get a point here at McMahon Stadium. A better second half, more direct from Vancouver. But Calgary has been clinical in their finishing and tight in their defending outside of that one header given up to DiFilippo. Big throw in coming here from Stanton. Or not. Off the foot of Weller. Quinn read that. You can hear the Calgary bench saying, how long, how long? Faulkner with the turn and the shot from distance. Oh, who was expecting that? Just over top of the bar. But Kennedy Faulkner, the second half substitute, with an opportunity. Turns Michaela Moore, just fired it. Former U17 Player of the Year for Canada, showing her quality. Thurton will take this opportunity to shield and waste time. And just enough time. That is time for the Calgary Wild, celebrating a 2-1 victory over the Vancouver Rise. Their first win over Vancouver this season, and they do it at home in Stampede Week. The coaches shake hands. Lydia Bedford's got to be pleased with the performance of her club. You saw a smile there from Lydia Bedford. Goals from Sarita Thurton, her first in the NSL, and Maggie Doherty-Howard, the captain, for a 2-1 win. Players celebrating, some medical attention needed, but echo as the crowd on their feet. Not that they need much encouragement after this performance from the home side. A look at the final match statistics. It was the Vancouver Rise with the bulk of possession, almost 60%. But in the end, it was the clinical finishing of the Calgary Wild, especially in that opening half, which gave them the edge today. And the 3 points in the standings. Well, as the teams shake hands here today at McMahon Stadium, beautiful day for football and a beautiful match here. 2-1 for the Calgary Wild over the visiting Vancouver Rise FC. On behalf of our entire crew here, I'm Signa Butler. Thanks for watching and supporting the NSL. In this broadcast presented by BMO, we'll see you next match on CBC Jet.